Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so very much for being here. I really appreciate it. This is a overview and a preview of how to buy profitable cash flowing businesses in 2022 with no money of your own. Not no money down, but no money of your own, no money out of your own personal pocket. So I'll start with the bottom line up front, bluff. So the bottom line is it's not just about buying a business. It's acquiring a business and then transforming it into what we call a digital enterprise can 10x the value and instantly catapult you into multi or millionaire status. And what I mean by 10x is if you buy a business for, let's say, $100,000, because we're specializing in micro businesses, less than $500,000. So if you buy a business for $100,000, by transforming it into a digital enterprise, you can actually get 10x value or well over $1 million. And I'll show you that in just a moment. But I want you to understand that the first part of that is the acquisition of a small business. And then the second part is the transformation into a digital enterprise. So what is a digital enterprise? Let's compare. So how valuable is the company? So on the left side is a brick and mortar walk-in physical company. On the right side is a digital enterprise. And I'll show you what a digital enterprise is in a moment. So for cash flow, free cash flow, $600 or $60,000 per year. And we multiply that by the industry multiple, which gives you the worth of the company, which is $120,000. Now, the company can get a industry multiple plus up, meaning it can go higher than this too if certain parameters are in place. For example, there's an absentee owner. Your financials are auditable. There is a differentiator that that you can see and everyone else can see, especially customers. They can see the difference between your business and someone else's business. That will get you an industry multiple plus up. Otherwise, that's the worth of your business if you are bringing in $60,000 of free cash flow, or basically $5,000 a month. On the other hand, when you transform into a digital enterprise, your cash flow is twice as much. Your multiple is 3.5 times as much, and your valuation is almost 10 times as much. So you have a over 2 times cash flow and a valuation that is 3 times the multiple. That is a huge difference, and you can do that within a year. So realistically, it would only take you one, maybe two businesses max to hit this number. And here's what a digital enterprise looks like. You have two pieces of a digital enterprise. You have the physical side, or physical twin, and you have a digital side, which is a digital twin. Together, they make the digital enterprise. And as such, that digital enterprise actually gives you a much higher valuation than if you just had the brick and mortar by itself. And so value is equal to E, free cash flow, multiplied by the multiple of that industry. And that makes up a digital enterprise. And this is what we're excited about because, quite honestly, it's a rainbow unicorn. Nobody has seen this, nobody understands it, and you get the valuation that you want. And you can turn around and sell that business for 4 times as much as you bought it for, literally within the first 6 to 8 months. So here's the $1 million question. Where do you start the process? Well, that's a great question. But first, before I answer that question, I'd like you to meet some friends. The first group of friends I want you to meet is what we affectionately term as the three amigos. These gentlemen are lifelong friends. They are 25 and 26 years old. They'll be 27, 26 and 27 this year. Anthony, who is on the left-hand side here, Aziz, who is on the right-hand side here, and Breon, who is not pictured. Breon actually moved to Atlanta, and we closed this deal in Maryland. initially. So Breon is the financial genius behind it. Anthony is the cool sage individual, and Aziz right here is the engine. He's the person that really makes that partnership work. They bought a company called Sheer Pleasure. They own 80% of that company. They had no money out of their pockets. They received a small sum of cash at closing. They are absentee owners. The manager runs the day-to-day operation, and it's profitable. They've used this to now stair step to the next business that they're going to own. Kim Morales Flores. Kim was and still is a real estate investor. She's a power consultant, solar consultant. She owns 70% of equity in Echo Nail Salon. No money out of her pocket. She received roughly mid four figures at closing, almost five figures at closing. She's an absentee owner. The manager runs the day-to-day operation, and she received her first check of equity distribution for well over $1,000, and she's received 3 checks so far, well over $1,000. So she's done very well, and now she's back in the market looking for her second business in the North Carolina area. The third person I'd like you to meet is Keisha Fletcher. Keisha is a former state farm manager and HIPO. HIPO stands for high potential individual. She closed on a company called LJY Reflexology, and she decided that she wanted to take advantage of being an investor in her own deal. And so she put up money to get a 25% return on her own personal money. She received 5 figures, low 5 figures at closing. She's an absentee owner. She lives in the South. The thing is in Tennessee. She's an absentee owner. She runs it from afar, just by dashboard. There's a manager that runs the day-to-day. She receives about $450 as an investor, and she received a check for over $2,000 and continues to receive residual payments as we go forward. So those 3 plus others that we've bought and helped other students buy is what we are all about. So who am I? I'm the CEO of Infinite Capital Holdings, have equity in 7 businesses. We're projecting, in fact, this week or Monday, we actually close on another business in Punta Gorda, Florida, and we'll close on Monday. I'm a former leader at the Boeing Company, ran several organizations, and basically would go around the country. I was on the road all the time around the country teaching people about innovation and how to increase profits and cut costs in their organization. I'm a best-selling author on innovation. You can look me up on Amazon. Father of 4, 8 grandkids. The last grandkid just was born a couple of weeks ago on the 23rd. I invented something called this, and you will learn this. I invented something called the sustainable deal structure, co-founder with Robin Mansell of Evolve, a nonprofit business development center. And my favorite quote, because I'm just a tad bit over 25, I got a lot of living to do before I die, and I ain't got time to waste, from 50 Cent, Wankster. All right, so let's get right into it. Here's the team. And the team, actually, there's a couple more pieces with our exponential growth partners that we are hugely excited about. We have another capital raising opportunity that a company has brought us that gives flexibility in capital raising. But nevertheless, here's the leadership at the top, myself and Robin. And here you are as the lead investor to the next deal. Lee Mansell is the person who handles all the upfront calculations, and she goes through and weeds through and works with the brokers to weed through the deals. Samantha and Jana both are analysts for the deals. And then, of course, Angela Skipper is our top-notch program manager who helps everything flow through the pipeline. And then we have some exponential growth partners. We have Heartland, which is a Fortune 500 company, and their POS system, point of sale system and operations, including payroll operations. We have Crowd Wall Street, which you guys should have heard about. They had some huge announcements. They're the first African American or Black company that is an equity crowdfunding group to raise capital. We have uh, we have another company here, another management company that helps us with e-commerce, which is very important for us. And then we have Rebirth Capital, who also helps us raise capital as well as extract capital out of the company once we acquire it. And finally, we have our broker network of people that we work with around the country. These are the largest brokerage in the world, not just the United States or in a specific state, but the largest in the world. Sunbelt Business Brokers has about 300 offices throughout the United States. Transworld has offices all across the United States, and they are the largest. ABB is here in Florida, where we buy a lot of our properties, and EXP Realty is one of the largest opportunities that, I mean, it is a great opportunity. And if you're a real estate agent, you should really check out EXP. They're all over the world. They have offices everywhere, and their business model is actually breaking how we're doing business in the real estate world as well as the broker business world. And so those four feed us all sorts of businesses every day. We have businesses coming out of our ears. Now, they don't all fit our criteria, but those are our partners, and we don't lack for the opportunity to find businesses. So what is this all about? Well, before we get to the digital enterprise, you actually have to actually acquire a company. And in the acquisition, we teach you how to acquire a company. Part of that is you really have to have the mindset. And so we teach you, and what I mean by mindset is I'm not necessarily talking about psychological mindset. I'm talking about the ability to instantly innovate. And so throughout the course, we weave in an innovation course that will allow you to become an innovation in unicorn. We do R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6, R7, R8, and you do homework that really turns you from thinking about things one way to giving you completely different perspectives, at least 8 different perspectives of how you can solve problems. So the mindset is very important because you're going to become a deal maker. And as a deal maker, you have to have all sorts of creative ways of making the deal. And so mindset becomes important. So we teach you mindset. Then we provide you with the skill to buy businesses. We provide you how to find the business, how to screen the business, how to work with brokers and sellers, how to structure the deal, how to create a letter of intent, how to do a financial assessment, the whole gamut we teach you. And then we teach you how to the next part of that is you have to raise capital to buy that deal. And so we show you how to raise capital through our process, whether that's friends, family, investors, a network. We show you an automated network system that allows you to do that, such that you literally become a money printer. You can print money on demand. If you know how to raise capital, you can literally print money on demand. Remember when I talked about earlier how those 2 ladies put money in their pocket? That's what I mean by printing money on demand. if you know how to raise capital, you can print money on demand. You can buy any business. So first you can print money on demand. You can buy any business with this skill. It does not have to be micro businesses. Or you can actually go, if you want to, and work for a firm that's buying businesses. You will have the framework not only to, if you want to associate yourself with someone else, to do it yourself, or the other beautiful thing about this framework is you can use it for mergers and acquisition. You don't even have to be part of either party, buying or selling. You could just put yourself in the middle and get paid. And you have instant innovation because you are an innovative person and you're what we call an innovation unicorn. Rare, extinct, and very priceless. So that's what you will learn. Let's look at how that breaks down. So it's a 12-week agenda. We go 12 weeks. The first couple of weeks is really about setting the foundation. So you learn about this thing called the closed world environment. You learn our business philosophy and how we grow our businesses. And you work on a one-page website. You learn the second week, you learn the two concepts of fixedness, and you learn how to search for businesses, and you work on your one-page website. The third week, you learn how the R's. So weeks 3 through 10, you are learning R's, what we call R's. R1 is remove, R2 is replace, R3 is replicate, R4 is resize, R5 is redistribute, R6 is reconfigure, R7 is repurpose, R8 is reliance. And so you learn all of those R's. So in the third week, you're working with brokers and you work with the LinkedIn system of emails. The fourth week, you're working with sellers and you learn, you're working again with the LinkedIn system and you're doing articles. The fifth week, you're doing your business analysis, part 1. And then you're still working with your LinkedIn system. And what we do is we have what's called 30 questions. Your sixth week, you are doing business analysis again, and you're working with your circle of 100. Now, all of these, the website, the LinkedIn system, the circle of 100, all of those are meant to build your investor foundation and your investor base such that when you find a deal, you can go to these individuals that you now know and ask them if they have interest in being a part of the deal. And so the sixth week, we have business analysis. The seventh week, we have deal structure. So now you're structuring the deal and you work with your circle of 100. The eighth week is letter of intent. So now that you have structured the deal, now you are going to send off a letter of intent to see if what you're trying to do is you intend to buy this business. And then, of course, you're working with your circle of 100. Once they sign the letter of intent, now you go into your due diligence. The first part of the due diligence is operational due diligence. The second part of the due diligence is financial due diligence. And you're putting it all together in the ninth week as it relates to your investor system. And the 10th week, you're working on your intro to pitch your pitch deck, your investor pitch deck. So we put together a simple yet powerful investor pitch deck. The 11th week, you should be pitching to at least friends and getting your pitch deck down. I mean, really pitching it and going over it. And you need to pitch it live because basically you're pitching it live really so you can get the reps in. The more reps in you get, the better off you are. And then on the 12th week, you're expected 12 plus to be in a situation where each of you have raised the capital and is in a position to buy a business. That's your capstone. Each and every person in the class raise capital and buy businesses. So we should have anywhere from 15 to 30 to 50 businesses bought through this next cycle, through the next quarter, next cycle. And that's our agenda. So what are people saying? This is a small fraction. I'm going to read one of these. I'll read the one from Terrence. He says, your company is the truth. The only thing we can talk about is the progress our company is making because of you. And I will tell you that Terrence, you should, they are in, if you are in California, Southern California specifically, San Bernardino, Cafe Organics is one of the best run operations we've seen, and we are working with them. They've gone through half of it, and now they're working on the digital enterprise side of their business. They are wonderful. It's a wonderful couple, and they do a great job, and they are so enthusiastic. And we're going to take their company. They're going to be a $10 million company, because not so the first phase is acquisition, the second phase is digital enterprise, the third phase is scaling exponentially, which means it's an acquisition, it's a growth by acquisition. So we scale at the from a digital enterprise perspective. And then the third phase is you start going and buying more companies now that you have the formula down for your company. We're doing that with Cafe Organics, and it'll be a $10 million company within the next 2 years. So here was some video testimonials. I won't actually go through those for the sake of time, but we have video testimonials from people and that really love the product, really love what we're doing, and are very enthusiastic about what we're providing them. But more importantly, really more importantly, they're enthusiastic about their future and what they're doing and what's the possibility for their future now, 2 years from now, and 10 years from now. Not only their personal future, in addition, their family's future, because this is a skill that not only is very powerful for you individually, it's also very powerful to teach your loved ones, such that they can start buying businesses, such that they can start in the digital enterprise, such that they can start scaling and across the country. So this is what we're doing. This is what it's really, really all about. So let's recap. Class structure and format, 12 weeks, how to become an innovation unicorn, how to buy cash flowing existing businesses, how to develop an investor management system, and you get a one-page website for customer relations or investor relations, I should say, that will allow you to truly present your best foot forward and give credibility if you are not in the industry right now. And your capstone project, you buy a business. That's the capstone. You graduate when you buy a business. You don't graduate until you buy a business. And here's your investment. So it's one payment of $1,800, which is quite honestly 3 times lower than the nearest competitor, or 3 payments of $650. The tuition, we go on. So we initially, you buy a business. The next part is you turn that business into a digital enterprise based on what we do. And then the next part is you scale that business, or you scale that model to other businesses through mergers and acquisition. We have the follow-on process, which is called the TAM Business Dominators, and your tuition, no matter what you paid, is credited to that larger community. And so that's what we have for you. But I'd like to make you a deal. I'd like to make you what we call a mafia deal, where it's a deal that you can't refuse. I'd like you to try this before you buy, and then I'd like you to earn while you learn. So what do I mean by try before you buy? I want you to experience it. Trust trust has to be built. And so I don't want you to trust right now. I want you to experience it right now so you can see what happens. So take a peek for free. The first 2 weeks, you'll learn the closed world environment, you'll learn our business philosophy, and you'll start in on your website. The second week, you'll learn the second part of the two most important concepts related to innovation: fixedness, both functional fixedness and structural fixedness. And then you'll learn how to search for businesses, and then you'll continue to finish your website. You'll have homework, you'll go through just like that. If you decide that, hey, this is not for me, and my heart is not in it, and it's just not, I don't have the time to put in it, no harm, no foul. You haven't paid anything. We will shake and be friends going forward. You get an opportunity to try before you buy. Nobody in the industry is going to allow you to do that, period. And not only that, but you get this opportunity to earn while you learn. And that opportunity, you're going to, as part of the class, we play the innovation game. So each of these pieces over here, the innovation piece, the business piece, and the building of an investor network piece, you get points for that. And we gamify this whole training opportunity, or this whole process. We gamify it. And so you can use this innovation that I'm going to teach you to immediately walk into any place and help that person. And as well as the winner of the innovation game receives a wonderful bonus surprise. So obviously you'll have to continue to win the innovation game, but what you'll have an opportunity to earn while you learn. So try it before you buy it, earn while you learn. It's a deal that you really can't refuse. And that's it. If you have some interest, please do contact Robin Mansell. She gave her number, or wherever you got this from, either the 10K Project and that wonderful, wonderful organization and what they're doing there. If you are not part of the 10K Project, you need to, the best investment that you can make for yourself as an investor, as a person who is going to start building or have started building their wealth, is in the 10K Project. It costs you literally less than, for a month, it costs you less than a latte a day, and you can be on your way in building your wealth portfolio, the 10K Project. So you may be a referral from the 10K Project, you may be a referral from our Built to Sell network, you may be a referral from any one of our students. The fact is, you want to be here. That's it. All right. I look forward to talking with you guys and being with you. I'm so fired up about, helping people make this happen and building a bigger, more richer and fuller legacy for you and your family, as well as for the rest of the world and the economy, quite honestly. So that's it. Thank you, folks, very much. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in class.